there is head coach Ron Turner. What a marvelous job he's done with this program. Off to a 3-0 start. They suffered a disappointment. They were leading, had the Indiana game almost in hand on the road a couple of weeks ago, dropped that ball game, and then came out a little flat against Minnesota last week. They look for a better effort from their troops today. Neil Racker is getting set to kick it away. Very strong leg, as you can see by that graphic. Illinois in the traveling whites, orange helmets, navy blue pants, and Michigan the maize and blue. And we're about set to go. 110,000 settling in here at historic Michigan Stadium in Ann Arbor. And it's great to have you settled in with us for this afternoon of Big Ten football. Set to go. Underway. Cato June, about 5-6 yards deep, is told to stay there with it, and he obliges. Michigan will start at its 20-yard line. Slot to the left side, and Brady play actions the other way. To Bill Seymour, the tight end, for a first down across the 30 to the 32-yard line. Mohamed Abdullah on the stop. Thomas picked his way out to the 40-yard line on a gain of about 7 yards. Tony Francis got over to make the stop on the play. Thomas. Danny Clark roots him out short of the first down, gain of 2 to the 42-yard line. Third down, almost 2. Thomas able to plow forward. Eric Gunther got there initially, and it looks like Anthony's got the first down out to the 45-yard line. Michigan good production on first down. The fake to Walter Cross. Lots of time for Brady. Hangs on to it. Now gets it away and throws it away in the general direction of David Terrell. 2nd and 10. This is Cross. Got a good block off the flank of the right side of the offensive line. On third down out of the shotgun. 4 receivers set. Brady slips a bit and overshoots David Terrell. So the Illini defense has held, and Michigan will call on the punting unit. Corey Sargent. Didn't get a whole lot of this one, but does get a tail dragging roll for Michigan down to the 20-yard line. Wayne Larrabee, Randy Wright, Jim Barber, Illinois on the field offensively for the first time this afternoon. What a difference a year makes for this young man. Sophomore quarterback Kurt Kittner. Out of the eye, the handoff to the tailback, and Steve Havard gets a couple of tough yards up the middle against that Michigan defense. Brandon Lloyd in motion. Kittner looking for Lloyd initially and drills it in there. 3rd and 4. Kittner, nicely done. Ron Turner utilizing his 3rd-string quarterback Walter Young on that pass completion. There's a pass thrown behind Rocky Harvey, who absorbed a shot. My goodness. Hendricks did what a strong safety likes to do. He just pounded him. Havard tried to accelerate through the hole off the left side of the line out to the 36, gain of about 3. Jim Barber's with us on the sidelines. Jim?
Got you seeing a more confident Kurt Kittner. You're talking about the numbers: 12 touchdowns, 2 picks.
And Jim, sometimes you forget he's only started 11 games in his career.
Good point.
Illinois just under 40% in third down conversions. Kittner, nice throw. Very close to the first down. That ball came loose after he hit the ground. 4th down for Illinois, and the Illini are going to go for it. This is a huge gamble. 4th down, about 2 yards to go, just across the 41-yard line. Hoffman in motion. Kittner trying to draw him off sides and didn't get it done. Now they stop the clock. And Fitz gets off a pretty good kick right here. Marcus Knight. Boy, good coverage too. Walter crosses the tailback, first down Michigan, and Cross gets the call and runs into stiff resistance from the Illini line.
It's going to be a good challenge for that Illini defensive front.
2nd and 9. Brady sets up a screen. It's dropped by Shea. Take a look at Lloyd Carr's team. 3rd and 8 yards or more. 3rd and almost 10. Brady, tight pocket, nobody there. Corey Sargent for the 2nd time today in punt formation. It's a high snap. End over end action on that kick, and it sails out of bounds. It is a Pretty good message being sent right there. Wayne Larrabee along with Randy Wright, Jim Barber. Open is Lloyd. Makes the catch. He got behind the coverage of Todd Howard, and the first big play of the game goes to Illinois. 33 yards inside the Michigan 15.
Give Kurt Kittner a lot of credit. He stood in this pocket, held onto the ball for as long as he could, lets the pocket collapse around him, and then just puts a lot of zip on this ball and gets it out to Lloyd as well as he could. Lloyd does a nice job concentrating on that ball all the way into his hands, and you can see he's happy with that. Don't know what that signal means.
Beg your pardon, they're inside the 20, not the 15, and Steve Havard inches it closer to the 15, a gain of about a yard. Kittner, nice catch by Brandon Lloyd, wrapped up by James Whitley just inside the 10-yard line, and Illinois faces a 3rd and short. 3rd and 1. Havard, first down to the 6-yard line of Michigan. 1st and goal, Hoffman in motion. Play action. Touchdown! Jameel Cook. And Michigan trails 6-0 as Illinois reaches the board first. Point after is poked through by Neil Rackers following a shanked punt. A 5-play 50-yard drive that took just 1:58, and Illinois cashes in as Kurt Kittner hits another touchdown pass, his 13th of the season. Do they start thinking now when they're down 7-0 early here at home? Is it something creep into the back of your mind if you're a Michigan player?
Well, I think you realize how was it Illinois scored. They had 50-yard line field position. They only had to go half the field with a big play. I think if they don't start doing something offensively with what they wanted to do, run the ball, then you start thinking of that because Illinois' confidence starts to grow.
Neil Rackers just put it right through the uprights of the goalpost on the kickoff, and Michigan will start at its 20-yard line. 3rd time Michigan to start on its 20-yard line. Brady can't get rid of it. Ramil Connor and the Fighting Illini defense has come to the fore in the early going of this one.
He's putting a lot of pressure on with his front four.
A hole for Anthony Thomas to get through out to the 16-yard line, a gain of about 6 yards. From the shotgun, 4 receivers set. Brady. Terrell is there. Did he get down in play? Yes, he did. And a first down, Michigan near the 34-yard line of the far side. 18-yard gain. Anthony Thomas upended by a seam Plez. No gain. I'll tell you who's thinking a little bit of those Michigan State players coming off the loss they had last week. 2 weeks ago, they thought they were going for the national championship. Michigan has faced some 3rd and longs today. Brady. Nice time. Good pattern run by Marcus Knight. Gets by a seam Plez. And Eric Gunther takes him out of bounds inside the Illinois 45-yard line. It's a first down for the Michigan Wolverines, who begin to show some spark off a 21-yard gain. That's good for the offense, not the defense.
Not for the defense.
Aaron Shea in motion, former tight end at fullback now for Michigan. Brady, again, good time. Over the top. For Terrell trying to disengage. Penalty marker thrown. Again, there's Tim Kish, the Illinois defensive coordinator. His team trying to stop Michigan on this march, which has reached the Illinois 27 off the penalty. Thomas rumbling through the secondary to the 5 and inside the 5-yard line. The A train, when he gets going downhill on those tracks, he is pretty tough to stop. 26-yard gain. Wolverines from the 2. Thomas barreling forward off right guard down to the 1, just inside the 1-yard line. 2nd and goal inside the 1. Penalty markers down.
Time to snap. Ball start. Offense. 5 yards. Still 2nd down.
Those are the kind of penalties down on the goal line that'll drive a head coach nuts and put gray hairs on his head. Tom Brady ducks in under center. 1 step. Throw to the corner. Great catch. Touchdown. Marquise Walker. Oh, what a catch. Jeff Delverne, and the game is tied. This hit an Illinois player on the front line and is covered up inside the 35. Kind of a line drive kick. Illinois and Michigan tied at 7.
Wayne, the Illini with 1:38 left in this quarter. The wind at their back, coming out in the shotgun, but yet running the ball. We'll see if they try and open it up and take advantage of this wind this last minute and a half.
Second down. Sprinting through, Steve Havard. Nicely done. He dipped just a bit at the point of attack and then found about 7 yards, maybe 8. Well, it was a dip caused by a slip, and now for the first down. And Kurt Kittner very close, out near the 44-yard line. First down from the 43 of Illinois. Kittner, pump fake once, takes it himself. Gets what he can, which is about 8 yards into Michigan territory to the 47 or 48-yard line. Victor Hobson and Honey Jones on the stop. Time winding down to this first quarter. Brandon Lloyd in motion. Kittner on play action. Swings it out to Jameel Cook, his fullback, and he's got a nice gain inside the Michigan 40 to the 37-yard line. Victor Hobson made the stop, pickup of 11. Kittner, short drop again. He takes off, but unable to get away. Renus and company arrive on the scene. Second down for Illinois. Havard trying to get to the outside. Tommy Hendricks chases him down.
You need to do something defensively to create, make a play, create something, disrupt that rhythm. That time it worked for the Wolverines.
There's Jim Herman on the sidelines for the Wolverines. Third down and 8 for the Illini. Walter Young in motion. Kittner looking around. Unable to make the catch on the play. A diving attempt by Rocky Harvey. He was unable to come up with it just inside the 20-yard line of Michigan. Neil Rackers, who has a big leg, along the 45. This will be a 53-yard attempt, kicking into the wind. Oh, and it's a fake punt. And he pooches it toward the far side, and it caroms out of bounds inside the 20-yard line. Michigan's first offensive possession of the second quarter in a tied 7 ball game. All tied at 7 apiece, I meant to say. A train off the right side. Hadn't been a whole lot there. He's had one good run here today, about 26 yards. A swing pass, Anthony Thomas. Michael Young, a nice play in the open field. Third down now. From the shotgun, Brady under a blitz. Sets it up nicely, Marcus Knight. That's the first down across the 30-yard line near the 32. Brady on first down passing. Terrell is there, nice catch. First down at the Illinois 42-yard line. Tony Francis had the coverage.
Nice catch.
He is showing a lot of polish. A sophomore out of Richmond, Virginia. David Terrell mix up in the backfield. Anthony Thomas slipped and fell, and down goes Brady, the quarterback. Blitz, they get to him this time. Danny Clark through the inside gap, able to get to Brady. Good call there by Tim Kish. 3rd and 20. Michigan converted on 3rd and 14 on their touchdown drive. Brady under a blitz again, able to get it away over the middle, and the catch made by Marquise Walker close to the first down near the 32-yard line.
Well, right now, Lloyd Carter's challenging his offensive line to pick up this first down.
And Brady gets it. Didn't need much more than an inch or two. It looks like he's got a first down at the 31. Brady over the top, going for it all. Marcus Knight, touchdown! Jeff Delverne for the point after. This one carries into the end zone. Illinois will take it out of the 20-yard line. Kittner 7 of 9, 75 yards. Lloyd in motion. Kittner looks that way and hits Brandon Lloyd, and this time James Whitley jumps him from behind. Walter Young, the 6'5 quarterback, is at the top of your screen as Michigan encroaches. Rob Renus reached across.
Contact by the defense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Second down and short now for Illinois. Steve Havard didn't get much. He got back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. Kittner through the hands of Michael Dean. Steve Fitz, 7th nationally in punting, and shanks this one. Bad time for that to happen. Drew Henson in at quarterback for the first time today. Anthony Thomas grinds it out down to the 35-yard line, a gain of about 5 yards.
The Lloyd card tells us Drew Henson has just earned the right to play. He didn't think it was right for the competition to be so even to sit a guy on the bench. Henson's got enough experience that he could lead this team confidently if something happens to him.
They spread him out and gave it to the A-Train, who rambles for a first down gain of 10 to the 25. This guy's bowling people over on his way to the end zone. Touchdown, Anthony Thomas. Delverne's extra point attempt blocked in the line and comes up short.
Ron Turner knows there's quite a challenge facing his offense now as they're going to come out here with the ball to put something on the board.
Navarre's coming out of there, hesitated for a moment. Fumble the football. Michigan says they have it. Michigan leading 20-7. Anthony Thomas. Penalty marker is thrown on the play. Sort things out. Pick it up with first down for Michigan, 1st and long. Play action, Henson on the roll. Swings it out. And ridden down to the near sidelines, Benny Japrou. 2nd down, about 11. Blitz was on, and interception at the goal line. The blitz from Tony Francis, they're going to rule it incomplete. Michigan 4 of 7 on 3rd down conversions. Henson not going to get away this time. 46-yard field goal attempt, the wind to the back. The kick is blocked. Blocked in the middle of the line, and Illinois escapes without giving up any points. Kittner will have to do it on his own for about 2 yards to the 31-yard line. From the 42, 1st and 10. Another short drop, quick throw. Aaron Moorhead inside Michigan territory, reaches for the 45 and has a first down. Tommy Hendricks spun him around. First down from the Michigan 46. Kittner again has to reload and high steps past the defender inside the 40 to the 38-yard line. Evidence of how he is working the offense. He has connected with 9 different receivers for touchdowns this season. This time they keep it on the ground and go to the fullback, Jameel Cook. They lost a yard in that play, 3rd and 4. Quick throw. I think somebody might have gotten the arm of Kurt Kittner as he let that go. That pass woefully off the mark. Intended for Michael Dean. It is 4th down. Fitz gets off a high kick here into the wind, and it catches the end zone. Michigan will start from its 20-yard line. B.J. Askew, true freshman running back, gets the call up the gut for about 2, maybe 3 yards. He's a true freshman. Inside of 2 minutes to go, first half. Askew gets the call again, steps nicely through a tackle attempt to the point of attack. Henson looked downfield and went to the sidelines. A juggling catch made on the near side. Askew found the sledding tough there off left tackle. Michael Young finished him off. Danny Clark was also there as this first half comes to a close. Hayden Epstein. But the window is back. This one gets past Steve Havard and through the end zone. It'll belong to Illinois from the 20-yard line. First down, Illini from the Illinois 20-yard line. Here comes the toss, Rocky Harvey. He's got some pretty good quicks about him, and he's out to the 36-yard line.
By the way, guys, no snow here on the field yet, but I'm looking for it.
Okay. I hope you don't find it. Little rollout pass here, and Jameel Cook takes it out of bounds near the 39-yard line, gain of about 3 yards. A lot of what they're calling for Kittner against this Michigan defense, dangerous as it is, been basically very makeable short type passes, it seems like.
And he's using his decision-making ability wisely and converting those.
Rocky Harvey turned back near the 43-yard line. James Hall was there. Illinois converted its first 2 third down opportunities. Kittner finds Cook. Boy, he had to wait for that play to develop, but Cook picks up yardage inside the 50 to the 47-yard line.
And Cook turns it into a nice play, and I have been impressed. with Jameel Cook. He has really stepped in here and added something to this fullback position.
He wasn't seeing a whole lot of action earlier this season. Rocky Harvey nowhere to go there. Cato June arrived on the scene from the secondary. The safety stuffed that running play. Brandon Lloyd, the man in motion. Slot at the bottom of your screen. Kittner looking the other way. Lloyd latches on, and James Whitley ushers him to the chalk marks in front of the Illini bench at the 41-yard line. That leaves a third down and about 4 yards to go coming up. When you're going into a wind like this, Randy, generally your throws are you're going to try to keep them on the shortest side, I would imagine.
More important to throw a spiral. The wind won't affect the ball. That's a spiral. It'll affect a wobbly pass.
Quick throw here. Rocky Harvey covered up short of the first down inside the 40. Boy, this Michigan defense very quick. Brady Brooks and Julius Curry on the coverage. Steve Fitz has placed 9 inside the 20 this season coming in. Kicking into the wind. And an end-over-end kick. Fair catch signal made, and the catch completed at the 11-yard line. Michigan's first opportunity offensively in the second half. Leading 20-7. B.J. Askew hits the hole hard and plows a couple of people across the 15 to the 17-yard line. Thomas comes right back, bowls over Danny Clark, picks up yardage close to the first down. I believe he's got it across the 20-yard line. Thomas to the 29-yard line, gain of about 8 yards. The A train, Anthony Thomas, has gone over 100 yards rushing here today. Little screen pass set up to Aaron Shea. Well done. First down out near the 45-yard line. Boy, I tell you, he had some people escorting him down the field. You know, I tell you, Randy, most programs now seem to have a fullback that they're involving in the passing game more and more.
Well, I think you need to, and I think it goes through trends, and sometimes when you don't have the tight end involved, you need to get the fullback more and more, and that's what they've done.
Anthony Thomas eluded Eric Gunther, but too many white shirts in the vicinity. Gain of just a yard. Second down, and looks to be about 8 yards to go. Blitz coming. Henson sets up another screen. Nice catch, Anthony Thomas. Tight ropes the sidelines and cuts it back. First down to the Illinois 40-yard line. Charles Drake, a true freshman from LA, California. They play action to him and go deep downfield and nearly intercepted by Asim Plez. That pass intended for Marcus Knight inside the 10-yard line. Here's Drake. He's only had 4 carries. That will not be a memorable one. He ran into a wall of white jerseys on the Illinois defensive line. Brady out of the shotgun underneath Marcus Knight, and it appears he's got the first down just inside the 30-yard line. Johnny Rogers on the coverage. Bryant and Marquise Walker at the top of your screen form the slot. Thomas is the lone setback behind Brady. Play action, and he rolls to the naked side. Takes it himself. Brady down near the 21-yard line. Eric Gunther made the stop. That is a gain of about 8 yards. Second and short. 11th play of the drive. Thomas nowhere to go. Brandon Moore, Ramil Connor on the stop for Illinois. Third down, about 3. Take a look at this drive. A train wide. First down, maybe more. Aaron Shea with a good block on the flank of that play. Anthony Thomas has a first down coming up for Michigan. First and goal at the Illinois 9. 13-yard gain, first and goal. Thomas to the outside, running hard, angled out of bounds finally on the play by Eric Gunther. Right here, Michigan leading 20-7, asking for more. Second down and goal to go. The football to the 4-yard line of Illinois. Thomas stung back on the play. Fred Wakefield initially got him down low, and then Asim Plez came in from the secondary, the strong safety spot to push him back. Out of a double tight end set, Anthony Thomas, or I should say, for the touchdown, yes, it was Anthony Thomas.
He has said, if we don't establish the run, we're not going to be a factor in this race for the Big Ten championship.
Hayden Epstein with the extra point. There is a penalty marker down.
Holding. Offense. 10-yard penalty. Spot of the foul. Repeat the try.
Epstein has more than enough leg to make this kick, and he does. The Wolverines leading by 20 now, just over 6 minutes to go in this, the third quarter. Good leverage, nice length, no return. Illinois coming out at the 20-yard line.
Go back to the touchdown here. Take a look at the offensive line, the push that they get, led by Bill Seymour right there, the sophomore tight end. Watch him put a hit right on Ramil Connor. 95 clears the way, and Thomas, only needing a yard or two, gets into the end zone with no problem.
11 drives of 80 yards plus this season. Some good efficiency by that Michigan offense. Tight throw into Hodges, incomplete. Dhani Jones was in the neighborhood along with Hendricks, Tommy Hendricks, the senior out of Houston, Texas. And Kittner streams it out. Cook didn't have a move. Whitley made the stop. Kittner under pressure, lets it go. Nice throw. Josh Whitman, the junior tight end, West Lafayette, Indiana, on the reception. So first down at the 35-yard line for Illinois. The Illini scored on their second offensive possession of the game, and they haven't really come close since.
16 for 21. I have really been impressed with Kurt Kittner's performance and his presence on the field.
Dropped by the fullback Chris Hoffman. All that weak means is that they get to rush the passer, right?
I don't think Illinois would agree that's the weak backer.
Wide open over the middle. Good throw and catch. And making that catch, Brian Hodges, the tight end, for a first down. 27-yard gain. I think the Wolverines forgot the Illini had a tight end on the field. A lot of plays, a lot of big plays for Illinois in their offense this season compared to the recent past. Here's that toss to Harvey once again. This time a good play made on the flank by James Whitley, Randy, who came up to support and turned that play back into Ian Gold. Lloyd and Michael Dean. Dean has been strangely quiet here today, to the top of your screen. Little hesitation move. Nice burst through the hole by Rocky Harvey, and he's got yardage down to the 32-yard line. A gain of about 5 yards. Dhani Jones reacting from the linebacking core for Michigan. Third and about 3. They roll. Kittner coming back the other way to Havard. Caught by Havard and then dropped, incomplete. It was tipped by the linebacker, James Hall. Havard almost made a play on it and might have had a first down, but then he dropped it as well.
Nice setup here by Kittner. Hall gets a hand on it, but it goes right into Havard, and look at all the open field ahead of him. If he catches that ball and takes off, that's clear sailing. You throw that on third down, knowing you're going to go for it here on fourth down.
4th and 3. Kittner under a blitz, wide open over the middle for the touchdown, Walter Young. 31 yards, quarterback to quarterback. Boy, that's a great call by the Illini offensively.
Wayne, I think Michigan defensively was confused right from the beginning. Illinois came out and had a group of receivers. Look at all the receivers to the right. They come with a blitz. I think Michigan miscounted who had whom, and Walter Young wide open right there. Just a nice call. They went on a quick count, so Michigan couldn't figure things out and communicate. Excellent play.
The extra point, penalty marker thrown. Illinois scoring for the first time since the opening quarter.
And Wayne, all of the big pass plays in that drive over the middle.
Offsides the call against Michigan.
Offsides, defense, penalties decline. PAT is good.
Quarterback to quarterback, number 18, Walter Young, third string quarterback on this team, but he's emerging as a wide receiver. Had 4 catches coming in today, 2 receptions, 37 yards and a touchdown.
And with Kurt Kittner being just a sophomore, if Young continues to play like that, he's going to be a full-time wide receiver.
Bryant, one of the up backs, was erased at the 25-yard line. Randy, and it's easy to see why he does not force the ball. He does not make the mistakes that a lot of quarterbacks will.
If you had any question of what kind of coach Ron Turner was offensively, Kurt Kittner should answer those. He has just done an outstanding job with that young quarterback.
Charles Drake, there's the burst Michigan looks for. This time bursting in is Robert Franklin on Charles Drake. Well, Jim Barber, what do you have?
We're behind the Illinois bench, guys, where everybody's pretty excited about the possibility of still winning this football game. The big guys up front have given Kittner a terrific amount of protection. And Ron Turner also came over to congratulate Rocky Harvey in the last drive, saying, little man, you made some big plays for us. That's why we scored. And that's why we can still pull an upset that might shock the world.
3rd and 2 for Michigan here. Brady at quarterback. And he's got the first down. Charles Drake, as I mentioned, great speed, did a 4.27 40, gained 2,652 yards, scored 45 touchdowns in his high school career. Boy, they are short. I mean, maybe an inch or two.
And I think Lloyd Carr is going to go for this right here, even though they're deep in their own territory on the own 35-yard line. He's sending a message to his own team that, doggone it, we're working on this running game and we are going to force this issue.
4th down. Usually this is a quarterback keeper, and it is off the left side of the center, Steve Frazier, for a first down at Tom Brady. On the carry, B.J. Askew. Freshman getting a good look for Michigan here. He got about a yard on that play.
They're down 2 scores, but they do get that win, a strong win in the 4th quarter.
2nd and 9. Aaron Shea went in motion and trying to hit the seam. And a penalty markers all over the flag as Marcus Knight was ridden down by Tony Francis.
Interference. Defense. Spot foul. First down.
First down just short of the midfield markers. So the Wolverines are knocking on the Illini territorial door on first down. Not a whole lot there. Evan Coleman, the fullback, getting a rare carry. And virtually no gain. 2nd and 10 coming up for Michigan as we head toward the 4th quarter. Turn the page on this one. Take a look at the numbers by quarter. Illinois scored first. Brady hit from behind. Down he goes. Robert Franklin arrived with a great deal of suddenness. They need 18 for a first down. Brady's got some time. Now he's hitting. The pass comes out incomplete. .22 or 23-yard line is where they have it spotted. It'll be first down for Illinois from there. Harvey trying to shake loose but cannot.
Look for Illinois to do much better in the passing game in this quarter, being behind and having the wind at their back.
Michael Dean is heard from for the first time today, just short of the first down. To the sidelines, Jim Barber's got a special guest. Jim?
Wayne, it's almost 20 years to the day that this guy, AC Anthony Carter, caught a touchdown pass, I believe on homecoming, that rocked this place. You had a great career here. You're back. What brings you back?
Well, I just had the opportunity to come back. I usually come up in July to come back for Bo Schembechler's golf tournament. I decided to catch a game. Unfortunately, it used to be early around September, but it brings me here in October, and I'm just glad to be back here. It's nice and cold, but the scoreboard looks real good.
3rd down call. Rocky Harvey barrels close to the first down.
That's interesting, Wayne. A lot of people wonder if Bo has mellowed over the years. Can you speak to that one way or the other?
Well, I tell you what, I never had the opportunity to play golf with him. I hope I get a chance to, because next year, I understand, is going to be the last year of his golf tournament. So hopefully, we'll get a chance to play around the golf too. But as far as mellowing out, I don't know. As far as football, he didn't mellow out when I was here, and haven't had the opportunity to see him yet. But if I don't see him before I leave out of here, I'll hear from him. That's for sure.
Kurt Kittner showing some pretty good wheels around the end. He got by Grady Brooks and slides to a stop close to the first down near the 43-yard line. Looked to be a gain of almost 11 yards.
And Anthony Carter, our special guest, almost 20 years to the day, he caught a touchdown pass that won a game at the buzzer against Indiana, guys.
Penalty markers all over this play as the Michigan line jumped into the neutral zone. And
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Jim Anthony was talking about Bo Schembechler opened up the offense a little bit when he was here. I think both thought he opened it up a lot when he was here.
Yeah, I think so too. And I wonder if Anthony thought I was being sarcastic with this run-oriented offense here. He likes the fact they've been able to move the football passing-wise And he also likes the nature of the score here.
Rocky Harvey hitting that hole hard. Picks up about 3 yards down near the 47-yard line. Second down. There's Harvey, breaks the tackle attempt of Ian Gold and spins toward the middle for a first down inside the 45 at the 43-yard line of Michigan. Boy, Rocky Harvey running hard here. First down from the 43 of Michigan. Kittner, a little pump fake. Going over the top. Got a receiver out there and overshot him. Brandon Lloyd, penalty marker down. I believe Lloyd was held on the play.
You'll see just the end of it here where Lloyd is getting slowed down just a little bit. And now you see the flag coming in as the official is right on top of it.
First down.
Jameel Cook, the long setback. Kittner, another pump fake. Going over the top and overthrew Michael Dean inside the 5-yard line. Second down and 10. This is what the Illini have done on this series so far. Harvey ran into his own blocker as he took it off the right guard. Gets just inside the 25-yard line, a gain of about 3. Aaron Moorhead is at the top of your screen at wide receiver. Kittner looking that way, and Moorhead makes a nice move on the reception close to the first down. Ron Turner and company, this is their opportunity to really get back into this football game. They face a 4th and 1 at the 19-yard line of Michigan. Havard, the tail of the tandem in the eye. Hoffman, a fullback in motion off the wing. Havard breaks through for the first down to the 16-yard line of Michigan, and this drive will continue for Illinois. At the 16-yard line of Michigan, Wolverines leading by 13. Illinois on the move. Slot to the top of your screen. Looking for Hickman. The fullback's got it. Ian Gold makes the stop at the 12-yard line. It's a gain of about 4 yards. 2nd and 6 coming up. 2nd and 6. Harvey's the tailback. They go to Rocky Harvey to the outside. Foot race to the 5. Got a first down inside the 5. Hendricks forced him out. Victor Hobson forced the play wide. Just 5'9" and 175 pounds. The role he fills now as the change of pace back is probably best suited to his talent. First and goal. Again, Hoffman in motion. Harvey to the 4, no farther. Pickup of a yard. Patman and Hall collaborate on the stop. Second down and goal to go from the 4. 3 receivers set to the top, single receiver to the bottom. Kittner looking. Penalty markers thrown on the play. I'm wondering if a hold in the middle of the line.
You may be right, Wayne. There were a lot of blue jerseys coming right into a small area.
Holding the call apparently against Illinois.
I would think they would rather have the yards marked off.
10 yards previous spot. Still second down.
The Illini have gone 15 plays, 74 yards on this drive. Goal to go situation at the 14, second down. Michigan coming on a blitz. Leaping attempt made by Dean, unable to haul it in. Boy, I tell you what, Patman was right there with him at the goal line. He tipped it. Dean got a piece of it. 3rd and goal to go. Under 8 minutes to go in the game. Kittner, quick throw. Intended for Brandon Lloyd. Penalty marker thrown on the play. And that may sustain this drive as Lloyd went down under the coverage of James Whitley.
The official that called that had the best angle at it to see and threw the flag. Spot foul, automatic first down.
Absolutely. On the roll, Kittner. Nice catch made by Cook as he had to make a shoestring grab. That ball a little bit behind him, and Dwayne Patman forced him out near the 3-yard line. It's been a long drive. They need to get 7 out of it to stay in the game. Havard nowhere to go. So it becomes 3rd down. 3rd and goal to go to 3. Fake handoff. pop into the end zone, got a man wide open, touchdown Brian Hodges, and the Illini are right back in it.
A little play action, thinking that it's going to be the bootleg to the other side, yet Hodges finds the opening, and Kittner holds the ball until he gets open. 2 touchdown drives Illinois has had in the second half. Both of them Brian Hodges has played a big part of. That one with the touchdown catch, the other one the big reception that led to it. He's telling his quarterback there, get ready, you're going to get the ball back. You got to do the same thing. One more score, you win the game.
Cato June has it go through his hands and out of play. Brady in at quarterback. Play action, sets up a screen to Aaron Shea, and one man to beat and gets by. Danny Clark beats another to the sidelines. Eric Gunther, and then is taken out of bounds. First down. Cross gets the call, steps through a tackle attempt. Gunther had a shot at him but couldn't bring him down, and out to the 36-yard line.
We're going to find out what this rushing offense is made of, as they need to move the ball on the ground and keep this clock going.
They got a false start here on the offense. Off the penalty, second down and long for Michigan. Brady from the shotgun sets up the screen. Aaron Shea is up in it. Danny Clark this time got there to make a submarine move, and it's a loss of almost 6 yards on that play. Third and long. Brady, lots of time. Has a man open, and he dropped it on the play. Marquise Walker underneath the coverage of Mohamed Abdullah. Corey Sargent kicking into the wind. Not much of a kick here. It does get a Michigan roll inside the 40. Illinois will start this drive at the 35 of the Fighting Illini. 39-yard punt, no return. It's a ball game late in the 4th. Illinois 65 yards away from what would be the equalizing score. An extra point would give them the lead. And Rocky Harvey the first play. Out to the 42-yard line on a gain of 7 yards. Harvey again, this time from behind. Great play made by Jake Freisinger. Kittner, a little pump fake. Lets it go over the middle. Rocky Harvey into the clear, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown! 59 yards. We're tied. The all-important extra point coming up. This for the lead. Neil Rackers out of the hold of Steve Fitz. And Illinois has the lead with 2:42 to go.
Take a look at the protection. Kittner stands in there, makes the play, keeps his composure, comes off of his primary receiver, and hits Rocky Harvey. Nice job of Harvey watching that ball all the way into his hands. And then when he gets in the open field, you're not going to catch him. He's got such tremendous speed. Let the players around you make the plays. Things will come in time, and we've seen that time after time today.
David Terrell is back deep. Michigan means business here, but Terrell's not going to return this one. 4 receivers set out of the shotgun. Quick toss. Marquise Walker just short of the first down out at the 28-yard line. Brady underneath. Marcus Knight escapes out of bounds at the 35-yard line, stopping the clock with 2:05 to go. Juggled and then dropped. Finally dropped out of bounds by Diallo Johnson. Second half, Illinois has really worked well offensively. Brady, Marcus Knight over the shoulder catch. And the Wolverines inside the 40-yard line make it the 35-yard line of Illinois. Under 2 minutes to go in the game. Brady got a man wide open. Diallo Johnson this time hangs on out of bounds near the 28-yard line. Blitz coming. Snap over the head of Brady. Brady able to gather it back near the 47-yard line.
Well, it's 3rd and 30, but they don't need the first down to get into field goal range.
Brady, lots of time. Just a 3-man rush. And the pass sails out of bounds. You hope for a prayer. Brady going deep. Intercepted on the play by Trayvon Waller. Waller still on his feet, and down he goes. Trayvon Waller with the interception, a junior out of Los Angeles, California, and that should seal it for Illinois. Here comes Rocky Harvey, just looking to stay on his feet, stay in play.
They did this with an outstanding offensive performance and defensive performance in the second half.
Harvey. One man to beat. Off to the races. Rocky Harvey to the 10, to the 5. Dives. Touchdown. 54 yards. Ron Turner can take off the headset. Career-long run, Rocky Harvey, to seal it once and for all.
No, Wayne, this is something, this could actually help Michigan in that if they go behind by 8, they will get the ball back and could have a chance to come down and score and tie this game up.
You're right, but I'll tell you what, we haven't seen much evidence that Michigan can do something like that. Rutgers kickoff. David Terrell, the principal deep back. Is he going to come out of there with it? I don't think so. Not from the back line of the end zone. Michigan will get it 80 yards away. Michigan going into the wind with one timeout to go. Brady looking downfield. Throws to the sidelines. Marcus Knight, did he make the catch? Yes, he did. They rule a reception out near the 42-yard line. Again to the sidelines. Terrell ushered out of bounds. Gain of 8 on the previous play. 2nd and 2. Brady working the sidelines. Diallo Johnson out of bounds just inside the 45 with a first down. One timeout left for Michigan and slipping over the line, and this will help out the Wolverines.
5-yard penalty. Still first down.
Out of the shotgun. Brady throws it away. 41 seconds to go for Michigan.
Illinois is going to have to blitz to put some pressure onto Brady.
Another high snap on the shotgun, and Diallo Johnson makes a nice catch on the far side, ushered out of bounds by Johnny Rogers. Again, the snap to Brady. Terrell getting just enough of him on that play. Robert Franklin. Brady to the end zone. Terrell could not hang on. 2nd down and 10. Brady, lots of time to look it over, goes the sidelines and throws it between 2 receivers out of bounds. From the 16, 3rd and 10, Michigan blitz. They picked it up well. Interception and then fumble into the end zone. The Illini recover.
Brady trying to force this ball a little bit into some good coverage. There's the interception right there. The fumble comes out.
Tony Francis lost it, and then the ball is recovered by Mohamed Abdullah.
I think the only discussion.
Defense, that's a safety.
Safety is the call.
Illinois here will have to give up the ball with the free kick after the safety, but Michigan with only 9 seconds to go.
Kicking from the 20 off the safety. Free kick. And they squib it. Let's see what the Wolverines try here. Bryant slips and falls across the 40. Basically tripped on his own out to the 41-yard line. And so 6 seconds remain for the Michigan Wolverines, who trail 35-29. 6 seconds to go. 59 yards away. Snap is fumbled. Brady slips, gets up, still has a chance. Winds up and rainbows for Marcus Knight into a crowd. Deflected and incomplete. This ball game is over. The Fighting Illini of Illinois. Look at Tim Kish. His defense helped turn this game around in the second half. Lloyd Carr just can't believe the way the last 2 games have gone for this Michigan Wolverine team that went to East Lansing 5-0. And 3 weeks later, an off week in between, they come back and now they're 5-2. Ron Turner, biggest win in his coaching career by far.
We're in Ann Arbor, Michigan, where Illinois shocked the world over Michigan. Rocky Harvey had some shocking catches and runs for touchdowns. Are you shocked with the upset?
Yeah, you know, this is my first time at the big house. You know, I always dreamed of playing at the big house, and we came out here. And, you know, we was down, you know, our season was 3-3, and the coach told us to believe and go out there and fight, and that's what we did.
At one point, it's Michigan 27, Illinois 7. Your thoughts at that point of the game?
You know, he told us a story about when he coached for Stanford, and they was down by Notre Dame was beating them at halftime, and they came back and won. And, you know, we took that story to heart, and that's what we did. We came back and won.
That last touchdown, well, I guess you could have taken a knee or at least taken some time off the clock, but you wanted the end zone, didn't you?
You know, we're trying to put points on the board to pull the game out of reach, and hopefully the game was going out of reach, and we went out and defense played big at the end, and we stopped them.
Rocky, to you personally, what's a win over Michigan and a win for the Illinois program mean?
Just keep our hope alive for a bowl game.
And your coach, did you have a chance to see him after the game?
No, they waiting on me now. They waiting on me now so we can go sing our song.
All right, Rocky, congratulations.
Thanks.
Rocky Harvey, one of the stars of the game.